Since October 7th, the Security Council has passed 4 resolutions with no condemnation of Hamas for their crimes. Meanwhile, the General Assembly has passed 2 resolutions. Hamas is never even mentioned in either resolution. They vaguely mention the release of those held captive, but fail to identify the Hamas monsters who took them. Today, I will demand that the Security Council adopt a clear and unequivocal resolution. This should not require negotiations or deliberations. The Council has a moral obligation to adopt a very simple resolution that condemns Hamas, their atrocities, designates them as a terrorist organization, and demand the release of the hostages.
Israel has unleashed a full-fledged war against the Palestinian people. Israel is seeking to impose a military solution to the conflict by disappearing a nation. There is no denying these facts. From genocide to apartheid, Israel is showing the world its willingness and readiness to use the most despicable means to achieve its colonial aims. Disposition, displacement, devastation, destruction, death. That is what it has been inflicting on Palestinians for decades. But our people are enduring them today at a scale never experienced since the Nakba. Instead of ending the Nakba, Israeli fascist extremist leaders have decided to try to bring it to its ultimate conclusion: Palestine with no Palestinians. No one is naive enough to ignore what this is about. It is about the land. All Palestinians are guilty of being Palestinians and for wanting to live on their land, the land of their ancestors. Their sentence: ethnic cleansing, apartheid, arbitrary detention or death. How long will they have to suffer such a terrifying fate?
During this week, hundreds of thousands of Israelis have taken to the streets. They feel angry, desperate, and betrayed by their government. They have understood that the Israeli government does not want to return the hostages in a deal, but to continue the war indefinitely. Our government is cynically exploiting our collective trauma to violently advance its project of cementing Israel control over the entire land. To do that, it is waging war on the entire Palestinian people, committing war crimes almost daily. In Gaza, this has taken the form of expulsion, starvation, killing, and destruction on an unprecedented scale. This goes beyond revenge. Israel is using the opportunity to promote an ideological agenda, making Gaza inhabitable. As this council has been informed repeatedly, a vast part of Gaza's homes and infrastructures have been completely destroyed. By driving Palestinians out of entire areas and displacing millions, Israel is laying the groundwork for long-term control of Gaza that could lead to re-establishing Israeli settlements there.
We're doing all we can to bring these Americans home and all the hostages home to their families. The 6 hostages killed this weekend were executed at the same time negotiators were discussing the names of individuals to be released in a ceasefire deal. It calls into question the sincerity of Hamas negotiators, and it reveals yet again the ugly truth about the vile, depraved ideology that Hamas represents, from its massacre of 1,200 people to its weaponization of sexual violence. These latest murders confirm that Hamas is a terrorist organization. I know some members of this council won't acknowledge that, but that's the simple truth. The United States strongly condemns Hamas's brutality. It is long past time this council do the same. At this crucial inflection point, it is vital that anyone who stands for peace stand with the three of us and continue to apply pressure on Hamas to end its brutality and accept the deal on the table, which is based on the principles and framework this council endorsed in Resolution 2735. We cannot just move on. There is no palatable alternative to this diplomacy. We cannot lose patience with diplomacy. Diplomacy is not a matter of snapping our fingers and voila. It takes hard work. It takes effort, and unfortunately, it takes time. It has not failed. After all, it was diplomacy that helped secure the release of more than 100 hostages in November. And it is through diplomacy that we aim to bring the remaining hostages home and finally put this horrific conflict on a path toward a durable conclusion.